Okay, so for today's deep dive, we're looking at Charli xcx's Always Everywhere.
Hmm.
And we're not just, reading the lyrics. We're trying to map the emotional terrain that the words create.
Yeah.
Because when you really sit with the text, it feels less like a pop song and more like a weather event.
It really does. It creates this whole atmosphere. If you kind of strip away the melody and just look at the imagery she's using, you see this huge contrast.
Between what?
Well, you have the external world, storms, shadows, wind, and it's all just crashing against this really internal biological reaction. It's like wind and rain versus heat and veins.
And that starts immediately, right from the top. The lyrics open on the hillside where shadows chase the dawn.
Right, which sounds almost scenic at first.
Totally. Maybe a little moody, but then it gets violent, and it gets violent fast. There's this one line that just sticks out to me. Your name is coughed where the wild winds have gone.
Yes. That verb coughed, it changes everything.
So
It takes the memory from something you say or something you sing, and it turns it into something involuntary. It's like a sickness.
a physical rejection.
Exactly. Something your body is forcing out, and the environment around her starts to reflect that exact same sickness. She mentions black flowers burn and violet fades to gray.
So the whole world is just like actively deteriorating with her. It's not just a sunset. Things are literally burning and fading.
And then, into this decaying scene, you have the love interest, who's described as your love tearing through the rain.
Which is such a tragedy, right? You look to love for shelter from the storm.
But here, love is the storm. It's the thing doing the damage, it's tearing.
Yeah.
And that sets up, I think, the core metaphor of the whole piece.
I can't escape the storm you gave me.
Exactly. But the really fascinating part isn't the storm itself, it's where the storm goes.
Right, it doesn't stay outside, it moves into her body. She calls it constant lightning in my veins.
And I mean, that's not just emotion anymore. That's electricity, it's nerves, it's biology.
It feels physical.
It's a perfect example of somatization. That's this psychological idea where the brain can't process the grief, so it just offloads it to the body. It stops being a metaphor. It's a physical symptom.
So the memory is literally pumping through her circulatory system.
Yeah, which explains why she says, every echo calls your name. I mean, if it's in your blood, how can you possibly outrun it?
You can't. But that cold, gray isolation, that doesn't last. It eventually breaks, and it swings to the complete other extreme. We go from wild winds to the bridge, where the one word you hear over and over is heat.
And that shift is so jarring. You go from this cold, dead hillside to heat on the water. And suddenly we're not just observing nature.
No, we're in this moment of just suffocating intimacy. The lyrics flash to your face on top of mine.
But even that closeness feels wrong. It's off. She calls it fever dream.
It's a surreal picture, a fever dream of mirrored features' hungry eyes. It feels chaotic, almost like a hallucination.
Fever dream is the key phrase. It means reality is blurring. And mirrored features. That's probably the most complex image in the whole song.
What do you think that means?
Well, think about it. It's like looking in a mirror and seeing their face on your body. You've been so consumed by the memory of them that you've lost your own identity.
That is terrifying, and it fits perfectly with that other line, flash right back in your head. The memory is intrusive. And it's so heartbreaking because even with all that physical closeness, the face on top of mine, the heat, there's still this huge emotional distance. The lyrics say, I feel like home still you pull away.
And that's the central paradox of the song. You
Yeah.
have the heat, the feeling of home, but the other person just decides to disappear to somewhere dark so far away.
So she's just left there, left with the physical sensation of them, the lightning, the heat, that mirrored face, but the actual person is.
Completely gone.
So if we, zoom out a bit, what's the journey here? We've gone from cold winds and coughing up a name to a storm inside the blood to this overwhelming repetitive heat.
I think it's showing us that loss isn't just an abstract sadness you can think your way out of. It's a visceral sensory experience that actually rewrites how you see the world and even your own body. You don't just miss them. You physically feel their absence.
Wow, it's a heavy one. But before we wrap up, that detail from the fever dream, it's still stuck in my head.
The mirrored features.
Yeah, it just makes you wonder. When we're that consumed by a memory of someone to the point where they are literally lightning in our veins, do we stop seeing them as someone else?
Do we start seeing them in ourselves?
Yeah. Are we just haunting ourselves?
That is quite a thought to end on.